Hey guys, we are just continuing with the settings breakdown within Awowlab to kind of explain what stuff does everywhere. We are now on spell assignments. So we are actually, let's just clear this filter and we can explain. So this list is all the buffs, debuffs, CDs, or ability costs Awowlab kind of sees in the parse. And what this panel lets you decide is where you want to see stuff or if you want to see stuff and how you want to kind of present it for your replay. We're going to use a Druid Spark skin here just for a quick summary, just because we can see it both as the ability usage and the buff. And then where stuff can be displayed is kind of restricted. And that is just to make it easier to customize as you go. For instance, like you wouldn't want to have a CD usage show up in the player buffs frame. Or if I click off the buff here, you'll see that it actually disappears from player buffs. And if we turn it back on, you can see the Bark skin here. And then same deal with the GCD. You wouldn't want to see buffs in the GCD, but you can see it here, where if we turn it off, it'll be filtered out of that GCD replay. And then continuing on with the other options, so we have raid frame. Buff and CD kind of can show up here. So buff would only show the icon. Let's make that a little bit bigger just so it's easier to see. So that would just be, settings, raid frame settings, and we can jack that pixel size up just a bit. So buff is only going to show when the buff is actually present. You can see it here. And if we just skip ahead, you'll see that it disappears once the buff is run out. However, if we actually put the CD, it'll give us both the icon when the buff's up with the green outline, and then once it's off, we get a timer showing until, or when Bark skin's back up on that player. Small caveat is we don't have CD reducing talents built in yet. Still work in progress. This is back in 0.12.0 release that we're working with in here. So yeah, that's kind of what the raid icon does. HUD is for a specific player. So again, if I add Bark skin here, in theory, oops, sorry, I clicked on raid. Add Bark skin here, you'll see that that player CD's there, and then like you could add other ones if I wanted to see when their berserk is up. Same deal. Come into HUD and turn the berserk on. Berserking CD, which he doesn't have. That's kind of irrelevant, but we are just on all specs. We're seeing all the berserks. But you can see kind of the two different CDs will show up here in this player's HUD. And then continuing on back to Bark skin, you can see the major CDs. So this is more for stuff that's like a big raid CD. So seeing Bark skin maybe not so relevant, but if you wanted to see something like anti-magic zone on that CD, then you can see, or you could list it out, kind of similar to the Omni CD current setup, where you can have your raid's big defensives there. Is the premise behind that panel. And I'll just let you decide what you want to see. And then finally, nameplates. We'll go back to Bark skin. Finally, with nameplates, you can kind of see when the buff is active. So if we zoom in here and we go back to a time when he had his Bark skin up, you can see it here, and there it is on the nameplate. And again, you can blow that up if you go to settings, nameplate settings. The icon can be a bit small depending on how much resolution you have, so you can just make it a little bit bigger if you so need. Yeah, that's kind of it under that. I guess I could talk about debuffs a little bit. So a lot of the initial teaser video that I had released on this channel is using the boss debuffs to kind of show, like excess mass is an easy example. If we throw it on the nameplates, and then once a player has an excess mass, you can kind of see who has your excess masses here. And where they're positioning. Or like other boss debuffs like airborne. Same deal, you could throw it on the nameplates if you wanted to see where people were positioned when airborne went off. And if we just skip ahead, you can see exactly where like this player was when airborne. We'll turn off follow just so we snap over there. You can see where this player was when they went airborne. Same deal, you could rewind and figure out exactly where they were positioned when airborne procced. But yeah, that's kind of it for spell displays. Thanks, guys.